Conference. We're now joined by Brrad Keselowski, driver of the number 2 Worth Ford. This is Brad's first pole at Texas Motor Speedway, the 11th of his career. Brad, talk about your run this evening.
Yeah, sure. Just fast race car, and of course the conditions were very favorable to the track having a lot of speed. And we were able to make the most of that. With having speed here in the morning practice, and of course all 3 rounds of qualifying. So, that's really great, and certainly had a lot of fun. But other than the pit stall, doesn't really mean a lot for Sunday. We got a lot of work in front of us, and we know there's a lot of hungry dogs that'll be chasing us all race long. So we'll go to work on it. In Kansas, we had a lot of speed. Practice and qualifying, and in the race it didn't show up. So we know you can't take anything for granted in this sport, and we'll have to keep working.
We're going to open up for questions. If you could raise your hand, and we'll get a mic to you. Stan?
Brad, Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. What do you, all the way in the back, what do you feel are going to be your biggest challenges tomorrow in that practice to hopefully give you what you want on Sunday?
Well, the thing about Texas that makes it so challenging is the balance between being fast in a short run and being fast in a long run. We talk all the time when we come here. The track's very abrasive, so the tires wear out a lot, and you have to have a very versatile car and driving style to make the most of that, and to have speed in the short and the long run. So, I think just keeping that in mind is probably the most important thing about Texas.
Let's go Bob and then Jerry.
Bob Pockris, ESPN.
Eating grapes, man. It's good. I'm happy for you.
Oh, yeah?
Bob, yeah, it's good.
I have 2 questions. First,
setting a good example.
First is, do you feel like you're in nearly a must-win situation considering where you are in the points?
Yeah, I think if you're not in the top 5 right now, you're in a must-win situation. So thankfully we started out in the right situation with being fast. We feel like we'll be really strong next week at Phoenix as well. So all signs point to us having a very strong opportunity to win at least one of the next 2. And, in reality, we know we're probably going to need to win 2 of the next 3 to win the championship. But we have that opportunity, and there's no reason to focus on what we don't have, which is the ability to finish consistent and make it to the next round. I'd rather spend time focusing on what we do have, which is the opportunity to win 2 of the next 3 and win a championship.
And kind of with both your style and Joey's style being fairly aggressive and ruffling some feathers, do you feel like you guys at Penske are kind of out on an island as far as maybe friends out there these days?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're living on a continent right now, but I guess so. I wouldn't disagree with that, no.
Jerry
Jordan, kicking the tires. We asked Joey this question also, so I want to ask you, with 5 laps to go at Homestead, what would you do if Joey Logano was in front of you?
I'd be really happy to know that we're going to have a 1-2 finish for Penske. It's just a matter of deciding which one's going to be 1 and 2, and not screwing that up, because, as I told Joey, that would get both of us fired. So, that would be probably the best problem we could ever have.
Well, George and then Dustin.
Hi, George Diaz, Orlando Sentinel. Brad, given the contentious issues between Logano and Kenseth and the aftermath, is this a good thing for NASCAR in terms of the publicity?
Well, I think I'm going to need a little more specifics about that.
Yeah.
Which part?
No, just the whole thing in general. I mean, you've been involved in this before. The controversy that comes with it, fan reaction, media reaction, everything that comes along with these type of scenarios. Is this overall a good thing for the sport?
I think rivalries are a good thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Healthy rivalries. I don't think what we've seen over the last few weeks has been healthy. So that would be my answer to that.
Dustin
Long, NBC Sports. There's been a lot of talk about if 2 people have contact, even if one feels right, that they still need to call. So my question is, are we in the 4th grade? And
yes, Dustin, we are. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
How do you? Obviously, you've come up. You've got a family racing. You've come up. You've seen it at different levels. You've seen it at this level. Some people would say maybe you're part of the younger generation that maybe does things differently. how do you address that situation? How do you look at it? And especially if you feel like you didn't do anything wrong, do you still owe me a phone call, if nothing else, so I can yell at you? Is it that simple?
Well, let me preface this by saying I take what I do very seriously, and it's a 7-day-a-week job. But in the scheme of things, when there's an incident on the track, in most occasions, I try very hard to let it roll off my shoulders, because I know that part of being a professional race car driver is pushing yourself to the edge and pushing others to the edge. And you just can only walk a tightrope so long in this sport until you slip a little bit, and those slips are going to cause accidents. I understand them from my side, and I understand them from other people's side. You don't like them, and certainly if one person is repeatedly a part of that, then yeah, you get frustrated about it. But and you might want to talk to someone. But if there's just an individual accident, I don't need to call someone. I don't want anybody to call me. I just move on and be a damn adult. So, that's always been my feeling. But I respect the fact that not everybody feels the same way, and that's part of what makes the sport so unique is the different characters. But certainly, mine might be different. My take might be different than others. I can't say I have. I can't say I have. The same people that seem to say all the time how they want a phone call when they get wrecked are the ones that never seem to call you when they wreck you. Make of that what you will.
Jay.
Jay Pennell with Fox Sports. Given the severity of Matt's suspension and the penalty that was handed down, do you think that's going to change how drivers think when they're inside the car and have situations like that where you've had a rivalry with a guy over a course of a year or a couple weeks, something like that? Will that be in the back of your mind now, knowing that?
No. No one should have to tell you that what happened at Martinsville was wrong. And if someone has to tell you, then you should have never made it this far in the sport.
John.
Brad, I'm compiling memories of Jeff Gordon's career from drivers, and I know you have one. I was wondering if you have others you'd like to share.
Do I have any memories of Jeff?
Yeah, good memories.
Good memories of Jeff in the sport. I have this picture actually, and it's kind of a montage that my sister put together for me. And one of them is of me and Jeff when I was driving at Hendrick in 2008, and he was giving me some advice. And that's a moment I'll never forget. It was getting in my first opportunity to test the Cup car and having him, come over and give me some advice, which was, probably one of my fondest memories. But certainly there's more than that. But it's the first one that comes to mind.
Kenny.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. Brad, how much will the race pace fall off compared to what you guys ran during qualifying? And with this being one of the faster mile-and-a-half tracks, does that increase the degree of difficulty on race day?
Yeah, Texas is a very difficult track, which is not meant to be misconstrued with it being labeled a bad track. I think difficult tracks are good. They're good for the sport. They separate talent in both the teams and in the drivers. So, when I look at Texas and people ask what's so difficult about it, I think of all the speed it has, raw speed when you have new tires here, which is, hold your breath and adrenaline shaking fast. And then I think of the very rough surface that wears the tires out, as we were talking about before, and the transitions off the corner. You carry a lot of speed into the corner, and it's got a lot of banking. It holds you, and you go through the really big bumps that where the tunnel has kind of sagged in the racetrack, and that throws you sideways. And just to kind of finish you off, and for humility's sake, there's the exits of the corners, which are very, very flat. So, it's like the track's always trying to snooker you. It's always trying to snooker you to overcommit and make a big mistake. And that's always very challenging as a driver to deal with. But I think that's a good thing, and that's one of the things I really appreciated about Texas Motor Speedway.
Any additional questions? Brad, congratulations. Thank you very much, and best of luck.
Thank you. Have a good one.